Good morning, it's 8:28. I'm on my prep period and I just finished like making sure I had everything that I needed for today's history lesson. So I thought I would tell you what the plan is. So today we're going to start talking about the Articles of Confederation, which is technically the country's first attempt at a constitution that obviously failed, because then we came up with a whole nother document that we refer to as our Constitution. And so to do that, I'm first going to play a video by Mr. Heimler. I've mentioned him before. He is a high school history teacher. I believe he teaches AP history classes in Georgia. And he makes videos that are geared towards his students, but I use them a lot in my class because they're much more engaging than other videos I've found. So he has a video on the Articles of Confederation, and I just finished rewatching it to make sure I knew exactly when I wanted to play it in relationship to the lesson. So his video will be what I play first after I kind of get the kids introduced to the concept of, or to the idea that, you know, there was a Revolutionary War that's happening. America has declared its independence and given its reasons why. And now they realize we need something to kind of unify us in a way. And so I'm gonna make that statement and then play this video. And then once the video is over, they're gonna start this activity. I don't know that they'll finish it today because time just really flies in the classroom. But this is the Teachers Pay Teachers product that I found, that I've mentioned a couple of times. And so there are a couple options with this. You can do this as a whole group activity. There is a PowerPoint slide that goes with it, and or Google Slides. But I'm taking the option where the kids are doing this in stations. So I'm gonna have them move around as a group, and there would be a total of, I haven't decided if I want them to be 8 or 9 different stations, because the 9th one is about Shays Rebellion, and we're going to actually do a lesson on Shays Rebellion, so it just depends. But each station has a visual with one of the issues with the Articles of Confederation. So this one is visual number 1, and it just explains that there is no chief executive officer, and then each one tells them that they need to brainstorm potential problems with that. So there's a total of 9. So this is no chief executive officer. Visual number 2 is laws need 9 out of the 13 colonies to approve or to get approved. Visual 3, the legislative branch or Congress did not have the power to tax citizens. It could only request tax money from the states, and then brainstorm possible problems. So it goes through all the way to 8 issues, and then the 9th station talks about Shays Rebellion, like I said. And as they are rotating around the room, I haven't decided how much time I'll give them at each station. Then they have this little worksheet where it tells them the same thing that the visual says. Like number 1, it says no chief executive officer, and then it says reason this was included in the Articles of Confederation, so it gives them a reason why they thought this needed to be the case. It says states feared that a strong central leader would result in abuse of power or tyranny, and that's what they were trying to escape from Britain. And then they need to brainstorm possible problems with this, like what are some potential issues that would arise if you have no chief executive officer, no one person that you go to as the lead. And so it goes through all 8, and then the very bottom again talks about Shays Rebellion. So we're going to do that in history today, but we're also going to do the article of the week, the +1 routine, which is from Making Thinking Visible. I just always use this graphic, which I got on Teachers Pay Teachers, because for this particular strategy, I just feel like it needs to be done on paper. And then this is our first read of this article this week, and this week's topic or article is titled Push for Indigenous American Curriculum in Schools Makes Gains, and this was initially published October the 7th, so it's a pretty recent article, and it goes well with the fact that we just finished talking in some detail about the indigenous experience with America's origin story, and this happened to be a news topic in Week in Rep, so that is how I decided that. So that is the plan today. As always, I don't know how far I'm going to get into all of that because like I said, time really does fly. And then in leadership, they are going to film a segment for our little newscast announcing this camera announcing that we have a Halloween contest that we're organizing and hosting, and there's something else we need to do. We need to film that. And we also need to start thinking about how to organize lunchtime activities for Wednesdays for Color Wars. So that's what's on the agenda. I'm gonna get back to using my prep effectively. I will try and get some footage of me. I don't know what the camera's doing today. I will try and get some footage of me teaching these things, but it's always a challenge to even remember to pick up the camera. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing. And I will check in with you guys later. It's about 7 o'clock. There's something in my eye. I just got home from my Orange Theory workout. I took a 5:30 class like I always do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This was like a throwback to Hell Week from a few years ago. And they always have a Hell Week like around Halloween, and it's just like the workouts are supposed to be more intense than normal. This one there was no rowing, just a lot of upper body and ab work in the weight room, and then just running on the treadmill. Fast pace, slow pace, fast pace, slow pace, fast pace, slow pace, just over and over again. So I burned, excuse me, 450 calories, 23 splat points if you're interested. And now I'm just getting ready to shower and put on some pajamas. I don't even know if I'm gonna eat dinner because my stomach is like confused. I can't tell if I have a stomach ache, if I'm hungry, if I have cramps, which I shouldn't have, but it just feels weird. So I just feel like maybe eating dinner is not like, oh my God. There we go. I just feel like eating dinner is not in the cards for me. So I'm really just here to say goodnight. As far as how the rest of the day went, we started the Articles of Confederation lesson in my homeroom class. We didn't finish, or we didn't even start it in my switch class. But I know both Taylor and I had to have conversations with our classes because there are just a handful of kids that are just like not, sorry, that are just not grasping that, you know, we're in school, we're gonna have to work. And so we both independently had conversations with our classes of like, guys, you gotta put in the work. Like you gotta show up to school. So we had to have that talk, and that was really it. So started Articles of Confederation, didn't finish it in one class, and then didn't start it at all in the other. So we'll pick up where we left off tomorrow. So that's it. If you enjoyed today's vlog, please give this a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. And if you are not following me on Instagram, you know where to find me, over there at Smarty Style. And as always, I hope that you guys are well. And if you're not well, please be well. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.